All right, welcome everybody to the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central. This is Vishan Borich, and I am so glad that you're here today. Today we are going to be talking about how to really track what you're doing in your business, no matter what business you're in. You know, one of my mentors shared with me years ago that if you can't track it, then you can't make progress. So you have to be able to track what you're doing in your business on a regular basis so that you can make little improvements and adjustments as you go along. So basically the title of our presentation today is Using Numbers to Your Advantage to Scale Your Business. So let me see who's out there before I flip my screen around and see what's going on. All right, we got quite a few people today. I see Richard is there, Charlene, Terry, Janet. Oh man, good to see you there, Janet. So we've got quite a good crowd. Nice to have you here live with us on this marvelous Monday. And what I wanted to share with you is some of the things I'm going to show you today are probably not brand new to most of you, okay? Especially if you've been in a similar business to me. But if you're watching this today, most likely you're not putting this into action, and that's why you're not having the level of success that you'd like to have. All right, so I'm hopeful that this will be your wake-up call and you're like, okay, I really need to get down to business now. I need to start tracking what I'm doing so that I can scale my business, which means grow it in a much bigger scale, much bigger size, so that you can start having that success. So if you're ready, let's get a note down here in the comments. If you haven't logged in and you're watching live, be sure to log in down below. It's free to do so, of course, and just say hello. Let me know that you're here and you can hear me okay. I'll give it just a second to make sure everybody can hear me and you're getting a clean connection. All right. I see Janet said, hey, Vishan, so I'm hopeful that means you heard me. All right. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, Janet. Okay, so I am going to flip my screen around here and get started with today's presentation. If you haven't done so already, I recommend you get a notebook and a pen. Take some notes, because I have found that when you physically write down notes, you remember much more information, you retain it, and you're more likely to take action too if you've retained that information. So here we go. Screen share. All right, so you all should see my screen here in just a minute. I do have just a few slides, but some of this is going to be very interactive. So I'll be sharing with you, what exactly I do in order to track what's going on in my business. All right, so let's dive in. Using numbers to your advantage to scale your business. And of course, my goal is that your Monday will never be the same. We want to give you a powerhouse of motivation and inspiration to really jumpstart your business and your life this week. So let me go to the next one here. So for those of you that are new to the online world or just trying to jumpstart your existing online business, I want to share with you just the basics. This is your primer of what you need in order to be successful online. So there are 5 main things that you need. The first is a sales funnel. If you're not familiar with that term, or you're not really sure what that entails, a sales funnel is a fancy way of saying a web page online where people can come to the web page, enter in their email address, learn a little something about your business, and choose to purchase or not purchase what you have. The most important part of the sales funnel is the capturing of their email address. Okay, that is the number one thing, because you want to, every day in your business, you want to be capturing emails, capturing contact information, no matter what business you're in. The more people that you have in your list, the more likely you will be able to sell something in the future. It really is a numbers game, okay? The second thing that you need is traffic. And that basically means you need eyeballs on your sales funnel. You need to be driving as many eyeballs as possible to it so that you can start, number one, collecting those email addresses and then making sales. The third is leads. Leads are the email addresses. Okay. I will tell you that sometimes, and I've been experimenting with this in a few things, a lead could be getting them to like your Facebook page or to join one of your private groups that you've set up on Facebook. Because if you can contact those people directly via Messenger or some other way, then I would consider that a lead. As long as you have the capability to reach out to them privately based on what they signed up with for you, then that to me is a lead. It's a way of following up with people who express some level of interest in what you're doing. All right, then the fourth thing, which is where a lot of people kind of fall off the boat. I'll just be honest, when I coach a lot of people. I have my own coaching practice as well for business students. And one of the things that has been a trend with a lot of my students lately is that they don't have a follow-up sequence. And a follow-up, or a good one, I should say, a follow-up sequence is a series of emails that automatically go out to those people who you collected their email. So your list automatically goes out to your list. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what needs to be in a follow-up sequence. And one of the things I found in general with my own students is that they try to sell something to their list too quickly before they've really built a reputation and good rapport with with their list. So if you're having trouble with number 5 now, sales, most likely it's because of your follow-up sequence. If it's not your follow-up sequence, maybe you have a really good one that's worked in the past, then you probably don't have enough leads. All right, if you're getting lots of leads, then or maybe you're not getting enough leads, then you probably don't have enough traffic. Or if you're getting lots of leads and you do have enough traffic, you're not targeting your traffic to the right audience. And so you need to make sure that part of this basic online business is streamlining who you really want to work with. Who are you trying to solve their problem? Because you're not trying to solve everybody's problem, right? You're trying to just solve the problem of those people who are just like you. And the sooner you can grasp that concept and really understand that it's all about finding people that are similar to you, the better you're going to be in the business. My biggest mistake was I was trying to market to everybody, and it just wasn't working. It's the shotgun approach, as we say. You're just sending a big spread of marketing out there, but you're not really targeting a very specific audience. So that's what I wanted to kind of inspire you with, is first things first is to decide who do you want to work with, what are they like, where do they hang out, how old are they male, are they female, are they married, are they divorced, are they single, do they have kids, do they not, what type of car would they drive, or what type of car would they like to drive, how often do they go on vacation, or maybe they don't have time for vacation but would love one. So you really have to ask yourself these pointed questions, and that's going to help you in any business, not just an online business. But these 5 things that I just listed here, are the vital pieces to selling online. So I know this is about finance and how to track all of your different elements of your business. So I'm going to dive a little deeper into this, but I wanted to make sure you had this basic foundation before we move forward. Cool? All right, hopefully you guys are all with me. Good. So this is an example of a funnel for those of you that are still stuck on what a sales funnel is. So you've got this, it literally is a funnel. The more people that you get to come and see your offer online, the better, because then you're going to get more leads. A lead would be somebody who enters in their email address, okay? Or maybe you have kind of a pre-qualifier where they fill out a form and they ask a number of questions, and of those people, maybe only 100 of them are prospects. A prospect is different than a lead. A prospect is somebody who fits your market. There's somebody that, they're in your demographic. They want what you have. They meet the qualifications. They have the income to purchase what you have. And so one of the things I recommend to a lot of my students is, are you asking questions of your audience? Are you reaching out to people personally on Facebook or email and asking them, what's some of the biggest problems that they have right now in their industry or, with their life? If you're not, start doing that. Start asking more questions, and you'll find that it helps you to streamline your market, to streamline your marketing and your funnel so that you're targeting those people much, much better. Okay, and then finally, of those people that fit your demographic and your target market, using the example here, maybe only 10 of them become customers. In other words, 10 of them actually buy something from you. So once they become a customer, how are you handling them from there? So you have to put all of these things and track all of these things so that you can continuously be improving your business and improving the number of leads, prospects, and customers that you get on a regular basis. Okay, so hopefully this helps a little bit. For those of you that are relatively new to the industry, these are some of the things that you need to keep in mind. All right, so let's talk about where are you right now. So this is where I want you to get out your pen and paper and write this down. So what is it that you're missing in your business right now that's preventing you from having success? And these are the three most common that I hear from people. They want more traffic. They don't know how to get more traffic to their business, or they're struggling with that right now. For those of them that are getting traffic, they want more leads. Maybe they're getting a lot of traffic to their page, but very few people are actually entering in their email address. So they need to fix that and get more leads. And then finally, this is the golden ring, and that's more sales. But here's where I kind of laugh, is a lot of times I'll be working with somebody and they say, well, I just want more sales. And I'll say, well, how are your leads? How are your traffic? Well, they don't have any traffic. They don't have any leads. They just want more sales. So don't jump the gun and go straight for more sales until you've streamlined what you have for traffic, and then streamlined the percentage of leads that you're getting. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more in detail about this and how you're going to track this. So wherever you are, like right now, let's say that you're in category 1. You need more traffic because you aren't getting enough people to look at your offer right now. The first thing you need to understand is, okay, where am I currently advertising my business? And by advertising, I don't mean that you have to have a paid ad. Okay, advertising just to me means having information available for other people to find. And in order to do that, you can use free strategies or paid strategies. You can post things on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, social media, wherever that you can, so that people see what you're all about. Specifically, you want to target those groups and those people that are like you. And what I recommend to all of my students is that you really sit down and you determine, who is it that you would most like to market to, and where do they hang out online? Are they more likely to be on Facebook than they are on Instagram? Are they more likely to be on LinkedIn? Or are they more likely to watch a video on YouTube? You know what you like, so that's where I'd start. How did you find your business? How did you get involved? If it was from a Facebook ad, then perhaps you should consider doing that yourself. Okay, or if it was through Instagram, maybe you should try to learn Instagram so that you can be a master at it. So my first suggestion to you is determine, in order to start tracking things, determine where you are, and then list how you would find those people, or how they would find you is probably a better question. And then figure out how you can get more out there in that channel in order to attract more of them to your sales offer. Okay? All right, so that would be if you're looking for more traffic. And I will give you a few bonus tips if we got time today on how you can do that, because I've learned some really awesome ways to drive more traffic to what I'm doing. Okay, so then the second thing, more leads. How do you get more leads? Well, maybe you're getting a lot of traffic looking at your blog, for example, or looking at what you're doing online. Maybe you have a YouTube channel, but not many of them are entering in their email. Did anybody have that problem? If you do, write down below, and I will give you some tips on how you can get more leads from your existing traffic. All right. In fact, I should check that, you guys. All right. Oh, that's a great one. Hi, Nicole Jackson. Nice to see you here. Um, how are you determining your demographics? Great question. While I'm here, I just wanted to share with you one of the best ways is to think about yourself. And so how old are you? You know, and give yourself about a 10-year range. Think about your current situation. You know, what part of the country do you live in? You know, do you have kids? Are you married? You know, you want to basically describe yourself. If you're in the business, the online marketing business, you're going to try to attract more people that are just like you. It's so much easier to attract that's the first demographic that I would really target. And then as far as, you know, how to get, you know, more of those people, think about places that you hang out online. You know, are you on Snapchat? Are you, you know, using Facebook in groups, Messenger? You know, are there certain websites that you visit on a regular basis? Do you subscribe to certain marketers? So once you have made a list of you, then you can go out there and start retargeting that same demographic. And I can go even deeper, but hopefully that helps give you a little bit of what I mean. I will say that once you've mastered your own demographic, which is people just like you can then expand into one or two other demographics. All right, so I'll give you an example there. For instance, with me, I'm a martial artist, and so a lot of times I will target other martial artists because I get them. You know, they get me. They like to train. They like to do stuff. So we instantly have rapport with each other. But I also happen to enjoy country living. I live on an acreage in southern Missouri. And so another demographic that I have recently delved into in the past year is country girls or guys, but primarily women who like to live on acreages in the country, and they really would not like to have to drive into the city in order to get, you know, to get a job. They would rather work from home and be around their animals and on their acreage than have to commute these long hours to get in. So I know some of the pain points that they have, and I also know, you know, kind of what they want. So I can target them based on that. And Facebook is probably the easiest way to target your demographic, simply because it goes so deep. If you've run any Facebook ads in the past or you're planning to, you can literally target by age, where they're located, do they live on a ranch or not, do they do martial arts or not, do they have kids, how old are their kids. I mean, you can get so granular. It's beautiful. I love that about Facebook. Okay, hopefully that answers. I know I went a little crazy with that. All right, so I see Janet, okay, you're wanting some more on interaction. So let's talk about that. So let me go back here. So for those of you that, you know, you're getting some traffic to what you're doing online, but you're not getting leads, leads being the emails. What I recommend to you is that you need to get some good bait. All right, it's kind of like fishing. I don't know if you guys are, any of you go fishing or you like to fish. I do. I'll use it as an analogy. If you don't like to fish, hopefully it'll still make sense for you. If you go fishing, if you go and you put a worm on your hook and you throw it out there, you're going to catch probably catfish, maybe some panfish, but you're not going to catch crappie, which is a type of fish, because they don't like worms. So if you want people to bite that really makes sense for your business, you've got to attract them with some kind of bait that they think they're getting for free, but the price is them giving you their email address. Okay, that's really how it works. So if you start thinking of yourself as a fisherman or a fisherwoman, it just makes it makes more sense. At least it did for me. So I started thinking about the people I wanted to attract and what are some problems that they have, and can I solve those problems somehow? And if I can I provide them with some kind of a free bait that I could give to them in exchange for their email? And once I started thinking that way and started giving people this free bait in exchange for their email, I started getting a lot more leads, a lot. Okay, so I'll give you an example. So one of the things that I decided to offer was a book that I put together. And I use the term book kind of loosely because in an online world, you can literally write up 3 pages and call it an ebook. All right, you just get a design done for the cover and then write some things down. So I created a really short little ebook. I think it's maybe 20 pages, but it's basically my story, and it also gives some tips on how to start your own business. And it's really based around martial artists and how you can find more time to train and build your own dojo based around your online business. So I created this book and I don't sell it at all. I give it away for free. And on my page to my martial artist, it says, click here to download my free ebook on, how you can, train and work and, be better at your martial arts by funding it through an online business. And so people come because they want that book. It's free. It's going to give them information that they've been seeking. And so they will enter in their email address. They instantly get my book when they enter in their email address. And I have their email. And then I start building a relationship with them. Now, you can do this with anything. Perhaps you have a certain skill that you've gotten really good at. Then what you could do is write up like a step-by-step walkthrough on how they could do something. If let's say you know how to fix a vehicle, like I'm speaking to you, Rich, because I know you fix Jeeps. If you've learned some tricks on how to, I don't know, change the brakes more quickly, I'm just throwing something out there, then you could write up, your process, or better, shoot a quick little video of how you do it, and then create what we call a capture page, where you say on that page, hey, would you like to learn a really cool way to change your brakes more quickly that I've learned, as a car repair guy? And then what they'll do is they'll enter in their email, and then on the next page, you show them a video. Underneath the video, you would put something like, I hope you got value from this. If you did get great value from this, then you'll love my email list, my newsletter, where I'll be sending you some emails that give you other tips and tricks, as well as how you can fund your own repair shop with an online business. Okay, do you see how I kind of tied that in? So you can literally take whatever it is that you love to do. It could be gardening. It could be, I don't know, reading. If you've read some really great books and you've learned some things from those, you could share some tips in a document. But think about what type of lead magnet or bait that you can provide to your audience that they would really be excited about. And then give it to them for free. And their only payment is that they provide you with their email address. And you'll find that you get a lot more leads that way. If you're having trouble coming up with ideas, I can share with you a few different ideas that have worked for me. One of the things that I did was I was targeting business women. And what I decided to do was to create a free webinar that said, how you could quit your corporate job and become your own boss working from home. And I walked them through several different ways that they could do it and how they could fund their own business. And I gave them this webinar for free. And it's recorded, so anybody can go out there and watch it. If you want to look at it, let's see if I can just go there really quick. I think it's switch.teamtough.com. We'll find out. Yeah, here it is. So this is a free webinar on how to transition from corporate life to entrepreneur. And it walks them through if they have what it takes to be a successful business owner, and how they can overcome some of the most common myths that are out there when you're working for yourself. So I've done some testing on this, so my test emails are showing up here. But when somebody enters in their name and email, it instantly takes them to a video page that has this video much bigger. This is not the video, for those of you that are wondering. This right here is just a screenshot of the video. And I found in including a screenshot, it's more likely that they'll enter in their name and email, because they kind of see part of it and they want to access it, but they can't do it until they register. And then once they register, it goes to the video page where it actually plays the full webinar. Cool, right? So this is one of them that I did. Another one that I did, and I just literally take little things that I've learned and I turn them into videos or handouts that people can download. Like here's another one. This is igtraining.teamtough.com. This is another lead magnet. I said, how to get more followers and leads with Instagram. Limited time free training. What's cool with this one is it takes them to the training video, and then at the bottom of that training video, I over-delivered, and I even give them part 2 for free as well. So this one's been really good. I've had people write back to me and say how much they appreciated it and they learned a lot from it, and they couldn't believe I just gave it to them for free. So find something that under normal circumstances people would pay you to have access to. And when you find that stuff, that's what is going to be a great lead magnet. And you're going to find that you start getting a lot more leads to your business because you're providing so much value to the marketplace, and you're literally solving their problems, and you're creating loyal followers because of it. All right, cool. Hopefully that helps you. That helps you all out. Let me see if there's any other questions. Oh, Terry, oh, the one for the businesswoman. So yeah, I'll give that to you. It's I'll just type it into the chat. Okay, that's the one for the businesswoman, how to transition from corporate life to entrepreneur. And here I'll give you the IG training one too. Okay, so there you go. So you've got 2 of them. I literally have one for all different types of markets. One of my most successful ones, and I don't even remember the link for it. Boy, I don't even know what it is. But I have one where all I did was I gave out a free copy of Think and Grow Rich. For those of you that aren't familiar with that, it's a book. And the Think and Grow Rich book is something that you can give away for free because it's out of public domain. I don't know if you guys know this, but there are a number of books that they've been written so long ago that the copyright on them has expired, which basically means you can download those books for free. And you can look for public domain books and find a whole slew of them by different industries. And one of my favorite is, of course, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And what I did was I went out to my Facebook list and I just started private messaging people and thanking them for following me on my personal Facebook fan page, like my business fan page. And in the message I sent to them, I said, I often give out gifts to people who follow me. Would you be interested in a free book called Think and Grow Rich? And I wait for them to say yes. And once they say yes, then I send them the link to download the book for free. And in that link, they have to enter in their email in order to get the free download. So it's a great way of getting your Facebook people to provide you with their email address, because they have to do that in order to get your free download. So hopefully these are giving you some good ideas for how you can create a really great lead magnet and start getting more leads from all that traffic that you're getting. Yeah? All right, cool. So then finally the sales side of it. How do you get them to convert? How do you get them to actually buy what you're offering? So if you're getting plenty of leads and your traffic's good, your leads are good, and by plenty of leads, just if you want to write this down, you are aiming for on your capture page, which would be like this is an example of a capture page. Okay, this is where you capture their email address. Okay, on the capture page, you have the ability to track how many people actually enter in their email address. If you're using a website like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels or InstaBuilder, or I don't know, anything that'll allow you to create one of these pages, there is always going to be some kind of tracking device on the back end of that program. And it'll tell you the percentage of people that actually entered in their email address. So what you're aiming for is you want to get a minimum of 30%. Okay, that's considered decent. 50% is like ultimate. I mean, if you can get 50% of everybody that comes to your page to enter in their email address, you're a rock star. Okay, but if you can get between 30 and 50%, you're doing really, really well by marketing standards. So what you want to do is, and this is all part of tracking and knowing your numbers, is create a page like this. And it doesn't have to be as fancy as mine. I mean, it can be pretty simple. It doesn't have to be this fancy. But create a page, and then you can create what's called split testing. And this is getting kind of deep on you for those of you that are new, but there's a way later on when you get more advanced where you can create another page similar to this, but maybe the button is green instead of blue. Okay, and so for every person that comes to the page, they either see the one with the blue button or they see the one with the green button. And then on the back end, in your back office, you can look and see which one converted better. Like, did you get more leads from the one with the green button, or did you get more leads from the one with the blue button? And then if you find it's the green button, then you can change it out. So get rid of the one with the blue button, keep it as green, and then you go back and maybe you change the text on one of them. So instead of how to get more followers and leads with Instagram, you might say 5 ways to get more followers and leads with Instagram, or free software to get more followers and leads with Instagram. So you would change the text on the second split test and leave the first text the same, and the second one is changed. And then again, you keep pumping traffic to it until you have over 100 people that have seen it, and see what your percentages are. So this is kind of more advanced stuff, but for those of you that are struggling with leads and getting conversions, then it may be because you haven't split tested your page and optimized it for your audience. All right. So going back to getting more sales, this really comes down to knowing your audience and having the right people entering in their email address. I learned a very hard lesson with this. I'll share my story. It might help you. So it used to be for every single thing that I did online, all of those people went into the same sales funnel. So in other words, the same list. Like as I collected the emails, I was not segmenting my people. So all my martial artists were going into that list. All my country people, country girls were going into that list. I even had like artists and stuff like that going into there because I was targeting artists. I was targeting men. I was targeting women. All of them were going into the same email bucket. So then when I automatically sent out emails, it was like generic. It didn't really target any one of those markets. Does that make sense? So my martial artists were getting stuff that was related to living out in the country. And my living out in the country people were getting stuff related to, the next martial arts seminar. So, I mean, it was really, I don't know why I did it that way. I guess nobody really explained it to me and I didn't think about it. And I was not getting any conversions. Like I was getting no sales at all. I was getting lots of traffic, lots of leads, but absolutely no sales. So it was a hard lesson. And then I had one of my mentors say, let me see your autoresponder. Let me look at your emails. What are you sending out to your list? And they started looking through it and they said, wait a minute, you only have one list. You've got everybody in the same bucket. No wonder you're not getting any sales. You're not you're not speaking their language. So I was like, oh man, no wonder. So what I ended up doing was I have since segmented that list. So now people that are martial artists go into their own separate bucket. And this is very easy to do if you use a software like GetResponse, or Aweber is another one that people use. This is a way for you to target or segment where they end up. And then you can have emails pre-written that speak the language of that type of person. Okay? And once you start doing that, they're going to become more loyal and they're going to really appreciate what you're sending to them. Okay, so that's what I started doing, and then I started getting sales because now they could relate to me. Now I'm talking their language. I'm not, talking to cowgirls like I would a martial artist, and people could, more. They liked me better. They didn't think I was just this salesperson trying to sell them everything under the sun, and that's not what I wanted to portray anyway. So hopefully this helps somebody that's listening. If you're not doing this, I recommend that you create multiple folders within your GetResponse account, targeting different types of problems. Because the same problems that a martial artist has are not going to be the same problems that a country person has. The same goes for an online marketer. The same problems that somebody that already has a business has is not going to be the same for somebody that's brand new and is just starting their own entrepreneurial journey. So start segmenting your list, and I think you'll find that you start getting more sales. And the other thing before I go to the next slide on sales is make sure with your list that you also are not trying to sell them right off the bat. Instead, work to educate and provide value. So share bits of information, give them links to different helpful websites that you use. Talk about, people in our industry that have helped change your life and how, you are now helping others to change their life. Talk about things you've learned and give them those tips. So you're sharing with them some of your knowledge, but you're not being salesy. And then, every fourth or fifth email, then you can say, hey, I'd really like you to join my team, or you could learn more about how you can join my team. And on that email, have a link that goes to your sales page. Don't make them resubscribe. Don't make them enter in their email address again. They're already on your list. Just take them right to your sales page and tell them in the email, you're going to be taken to a sales page where you can learn how you can join my team, so that there's no surprises there. And you'll find you get more sales that way. All right, is this helpful? Are you guys getting some value from this? Okay, I hope so. I hope I'm not going too deep here, but this is important stuff. This is your basic blocking and tackling, as we would say, within the business industry. So let's talk about tracking now, because that's really the purpose of today's call, is tracking. But it's kind of short. I mean, that's why I wanted to really fill in the gaps before I got into it. So once you know where you are and what you are missing in your business, you need to set up a way to track it. And this is the easiest way that I found, as I just set up a Google Drive account. So if you go to drive.google.com, which I'm going to go to next, it's going to help you to start building out a way to track things. So that's not what I wanted. So I have, this is my Google Drive account, and I've got all kinds of documents that's in here. And so I wanted to show you what, and this was a class that I went through, and Janet, you were in the team with me, so you'll probably recognize this. But this has been really helpful, and I still use this to this day. This is just an old one that I pulled up when we were we had a special group, and we helped to keep each other accountable. So what I recommend you do right now is to write down on paper what your different columns are going to be and what you're going to start tracking in your business. So for instance, if you have a certain income goal per day, and mine's pretty high, I like to shoot for the moon and land among the stars. But let's say that you start small. Let's say that your income goal is $50 per day. then you want to put that down for the day. And then if you're trying to get more leads for your business, then decide how many leads do you need? And, what are you aiming for that week? Maybe you want only 100 for the day, and then add that up per week. So what you're doing is you're setting goals in these columns. And then when you finish the day, you're going to fill out the spreadsheet with what actually happened. And just by doing this on a regular basis, you're going to start to see insight as to what you need to work on in order to be better at your business. Okay, so I'll just go through it. There's more here. So obviously we had to put our name. If it's for just yourself, you probably don't need to put your name. But put your goal. I mean, is it an income goal? Is it a lead goal? Is it traffic? Do you want to get more eyeballs on a page on your website? Whatever your goal is for the day, put that there. And it does not have to be monetary. Okay? And then in the next column, what is your keystone metric? So how will you have known that you are on track to achieve that goal? Instead of leads per day, it might mean that you made a sale for the day. One sale for the day. So, again, put down a metric that makes sense for you and your business and where you are. And then here's where the rubber meets the road. What did you do today to help achieve that metric? So write down the different things that you did, or you might even write them down ahead of time as to what you're going to do, and then perhaps you want to highlight it if you actually did it. You can come up here and highlight it if you did it, and then if you didn't do it, you could come up here and highlight it a different color. And don't look at it as bad. If you highlight something you didn't do, then make a promise to yourself the next day that you're not going to have any red boxes on your page. It's all about little steps and improving, right? The next one is daily mindset. I'm a firm believer that you have to think like a millionaire before you can become a millionaire. So I put down what I do, and I try to meditate every day. And I also have a daily manifesto is what I call it. But what it is, it's a series of positive I am statements. So these are, what I foresee myself looking like. And by saying it out loud as if it's already happened, it helps me to stay focused and to step into the leadership role that I'd like to be in my life. Okay, and then listen to Inner Circle or read, whatever it is that is going to help you with your mindset. I think reading is so important. So what did you read for the day, or what did you listen to for the day? And then here I actually added another column because I do both. I listen to something and I also read something. And then did you blog today? Let me just scoot on over. Did you syndicate your blog posts? Like if you did did a blog, how did you share it with the world? And this is just a bonus tool for you if you're not familiar with Sniply, snip.ly. Check it out. It allows you to drop an ad on any content, free. So I'll show you what it looks like. This is really awesome. I don't think that's gonna work. I gotta copy it up here. Okay, watch this. This is a Sniply. You take just a second to load. So this was an article or blog post that I did on how to live on the lake full time. And check this out. You see down here in the bottom left corner? This is an ad. It doesn't move. It stays in that corner. You can literally add this on anything. It doesn't even have to be your own blog. It's all in how the link structure is set up. And then check this out. It goes to that switch, that link that I gave you earlier. So if they click on this, check it out. It takes them to my lead capture page. So I get a lot of leads just by using Sniply. Pretty slick. And it's free. It's a free tool. All right, so there's one tool. And then tracking. How many leads did I actually get for the day? How many sales did I get for the day? How many new member orientations did I do? How many upsells? And then if there's any notes or things like that that you missed, you could write those there. So this is just one way that you can start tracking. And I will tell you that if you start doing this every day, you're going to start moving the dial in your business. Because one of the biggest challenges is you don't track things. You don't track how you're doing. You don't set daily goals. And that's why you're not moving forward. And so then here's what you do. As you start seeing successes, you maximize those successes. So this was a really high day for me. I usually do not get 124 leads in one day. I'll just tell you that right now. I'm usually averaging around 30 to 50 leads per day. So I know what I've got to do to scale up. And on this particular day, I did a lot of keystone metrics. Okay, so I really was working hard that day, and it was an all-day deal for me. So when you know what it took to get those metrics, then you can do more of that or find ways to automate that so that you can continue getting those type of metrics in the future. All right. Okay, so this is just one tool that I've used. Another tool for managing and scaling your business is you need to know how much everything costs. Okay, so here's just a really handy tool that I put together. And again, I used the Drive, Google Drive, and I created this spreadsheet. And this was, for one of the businesses that I'm involved in. And what it does is it lists all of the different products, what they cost, and then what the commission is per sale. So this part of it, these are what they cost, okay, in in dollars, US dollars. And then over here, they have different levels of commission structure. So I went through and I put in the percentage as to, how much you would earn per sale. So here's where it's really cool. So let's say that my daily income goal is $500. I plug it into this little thing here, and all of these numbers changed. So I don't know if you saw that. Like if I make this $1,000, just here, let me make this bigger so you can kind of see it. Just a second. Here, I made it bigger. Let me scroll over here. So if I make this like $1,000, now watch this. See, all these numbers changed. So the reason I did it this way is because then I wanted to know exactly how many people per day do I need to bring into my business in order to make that daily income goal. Okay, so so right here you can see if they just did the $1 trial. I don't know why it says trail instead of trial. Let me fix that because it's going to bug me. Okay, if they did the $1 trial, then I would have to sell 476 people into the business in one day in order for me to make $1,000. If they did this basic product, then I'd have to sell 133. But check this out. If they did some of these other packages, I would only have to sell three people in one day, and I would make that income goal. Okay, and the reason this is helpful is because now you have tangible numbers where you know what you need to do in order to be successful and reach your income goal, if that's something you're working on. And I even broke it down here. We have different clubs that they could join. So like if they join a 6-figure club, I almost only need to sell one person into that in order to make $1,000 per day. Okay, so you get the idea. You can easily make a chart like this, and it will help you tremendously to understand what you need to do to really be successful. And then figure out, based on your percentage of conversions, and this will come with time, but the conversion would be they come to your sales page or they come to your capture page, they enter their email, and they buy something from you. What's the percentage of people that actually buy something from you that come to your sales page? Once you have those percentages down, you can scale up and you can drive more and more and more traffic to your funnel because you know that 10% of them are automatically going to buy what you have. And then it makes it a complete numbers game, and you can take your emotions out of it because you know for a fact that if you drive 1,000 people to your offer, that you're going to make at least $500 for the day. Isn't that cool? So obviously this requires you to do some testing, and initially you're not going to know what those percentages are, and that's why you want to create your sales funnel and you want to get it in front of as many people as you can. All right, so I'm going to give you just 2 more tools. I got about 5 minutes left. Let me see if there's any questions before I keep going on here. Charlene says that spreadsheet is a bomb diggity. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to have tracking devices because then it makes it tangible. Then you're like, oh, I can do this. I can sell 2 people into the business, no problem. So then you can estimate where you're going to be financially based on the numbers. All right. And I always like to be really conservative too. So, I know that I'm probably not going to sell 50% of the people into my business. So I try to keep it between 5 and 10% are going to buy, because that's been my general percentage. So keep your expectations low on the sales side and then high on the traffic side. So you want to drive as much traffic as you can and really focus on your target market, and you'll find that you have a lot more success in the business. All right, so back to the tools. So I'm going to give you, other than Snipply, which was kind of a freebie I just gave you, I'm going to give you 2 tools that can help drive your traffic. If you missed last week's presentation, then this will be probably new stuff to you. If you didn't, if you were on it, then this might be old stuff. But I just wanted to bring these up again because I'm already seeing success with these tools. So the first tool, and I know Charlene saw this one because she said she uses all the time, is this website called Quora, Quora. And the way that you can use this to drive traffic, and this is free. Wow, this is really odd. I don't, who knows what you're going to get on Quora. I'm going to go to marketing. All right, comic relief. Okay, so literally you can come in here and search for people's questions. All right, so let's see. Oh, here we go. What is the best way to advertise my online business on a small budget? What a great question. So I'm going to click on that. And you can see this one has had a lot of views. And it's had, how many people have responded? It usually says, let me go back. Oh, no. I think I just went to a different area. This one's had a lot of views, but I was trying to see how many people answered it. It usually says right at the beginning. Oh, there's 15 answers. So I try to find questions on Quora that have like 5 or less answers. And then you come out here and you answer their question as long as you have a good answer, right? So when you answer their question, you can include a link to your capture page. So I'll give you another example. So I showed you one of my capture pages had to do with Instagram, like Instagram training. I could look and see if there's any questions out here where people are wondering how they can utilize Instagram to get leads for their business. And then I could go and answer their question and include a link to my capture page. So I could give them an answer and say, hey, yeah, I use Instagram all the time to get leads for my business. Some of the tips that I recommend is that you have more than one Instagram account, that you automate it, and that you post twice a day. If you'd like to learn my full strategy, here's a link, and you can currently get it for free. So think about that. Now I'm driving anybody that comes to Quora and asks a similar question or looks up that question, they're going to see my answer, and I'm sure that some of them will click on my link, and now I've got leads. Okay, so this is a really awesome tool. The other thing that I recommend, if you'd like to get more leads for your business, you can use like BuzzSumo. I showed this one last week too. BuzzSumo is a really great one for entering in like topics. So if you wanted, Instagram marketing, so I can type that in, hit go, and let's see, we'll do the past month. So it doesn't look like there's very much. Past 6 months. Okay, well, here's one. Look at this, 23 brands with awesome Instagram videos. And over here, you can see it was shared 442 times, LinkedIn 200. So this one was a pretty popular article. So what I would do is if I want to get more traffic is I could write a blog post that was similar to this, or I could see if I could go and make a comment on their site and see if they will allow links on their site. So I could put a link that goes to my free Instagram training in their post. Now be careful with commenting on other people's stuff. Sometimes they don't like it when you just are spamming them and spamming their audience with links. But if it's really valuable, like you're giving something away, they might be okay with it. And the other thing is if you wrote a blog post about this, do one up on this. So they did 23 brands. If you wanted to write something similar, do 25 brands or do 24 brands with awesome Instagram videos so that you're one-upping what they did, and therefore you will get more of their audience. Okay, so I did a whole training on this last week, so I'm not going to go super deep, but there's a lot of great ways to get more leads. We talked about Snipply. Another big tip is you can go out to like Facebook, and you can go to like different groups. Like I've got a ton of different groups on the left-hand side that I use. So you could come up here and you could search Facebook for Instagram groups. So let's see if we have any. I'll just type in Instagram. And then I'll go up here and click on groups. So check this out. There's quite a few Instagram groups. So we've got Instagram Marketing Mastermind, Instagram Posse. So if any of these groups that I feel like I could help them in some way, I would, number one, pick a group that has more than 1,000 members, like this one, Instagram All Stars, 6,547. So I could click in there. I could see if this was a good group for me. And then I would ask to join their group. And then I could comment on some stuff. And, again, if you can post links that go back to your site without getting in trouble by the admin, and I don't recommend spamming people, ask the admin, be sure to read the description. Like this one says, do not post links to your business opportunity. So what you might just do is share good value. And then when people comment on your post, reach out to them privately via the messenger and ask them if they would be interested in your free Instagram training. Okay, so these are all just strategies that you can use. And on my next hangout, what I'll do is I can offer you just some strategies based on what you like to do, whether you're more visual, whether you're a writer, whether you like to shoot video. So I can offer you some strategies that might be helpful depending on what you like to do in the industry. Okay, I think we're about to the end here. Yep, that's the end of my slide deck. So let me flip it back around. All right. Well, hopefully you got some value out of today and you're realizing that you need to track things in order to be more successful in your business. And I will tell you that just the act of tracking can really give you some insight into what's working and what's not. And when you see things in your business that are working and that are generating leads, maximize on that. In other words, reinforce your strengths. So go ahead and start doing more of that. What can you do to make it bigger? So if you're getting leads from, using like my Instagram training, if you're getting leads from that, what can I do to make it bigger? Well, I could offer a free webinar that is to anybody that signs up for this would get invited to a latest update webinar. I could boost an ad post on Facebook. I could run some paid ads and drive traffic to that page for my Instagram training. So there's a lot of different ways you can boost and scale, but the whole key, it starts with you tracking exactly where you're getting leads from, how many you're getting, what type of income you're making, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so let me check one last time if there's any more questions before we close for the day. Okay, yeah, Charlene put some really good information in here about Quora. We may have to have you do a training, Charlene, on Quora. So, talk amongst yourselves. If some of you have expert advice on certain tools, share that, and that might be a great lead magnet as well. All right, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and end for today. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you next Monday for the Down and Dirty at 1:30. Take care.